what's going on, Muriel from the Sunshine Family and living in Costa Rica and applying for new passports. That is what I'm about to share with you today, standing in front of the Dutch consulate with my two children behind me. We are killing the time because we were super early. That's typically Dutch. So if you're curious about Costa Rica living in Costa Rica, wherever you're from in the world, I think it's worth it to listen to my story about applying for new passports, because no matter what country you're coming from, there comes a day that you need to apply for a new passport while being in Costa Rica. So probably you can compare my process to yours. So before I dive in, by the way, the sun is super bright, so I'm not wearing my sunglasses and my mask is here. It's still COVID mask time. Consider to subscribe to my channel if you haven't done that yet. It might help you to learn information about moving to Costa Rica, living in Costa Rica, you know, information for Costa Rica expats. So because I share everything I've learned myself, I'm not pretending I know everything. I still make a lot of mistakes, but I also learn a lot new every day. So that is why I dedicated my channel to share everything I have learned. So thank you for tuning in. Yeah, let's get started. Okay, so of course, depending on the country where you're from, you have to be at the right embassy, and it's not a place where you just can stop by and walk in. I do know that all the embassies and consulates in San Jose go by appointments, especially now with COVID. There's more restrictions. So I'm gonna share just a couple of tips that I can share with you about, you know, extending the passports for my children, my Dutch children. I'm Dutch too, at the Dutch consulate. Things you probably can apply for the country that you come from. So I don't know if that's Europe or the United States, but in general, I think they go by quite similar processes, which is it starts with making an appointment and to see what papers you need. By the way, it is January and these are the dry winds that blow over whole Costa Rica. If you think, wow, it's so windy, that's normal for the time of year. And I do know that I do hope that you can hear me well. I just fell off the bench almost. Oh, that was funny. So, okay. So what was the process that I followed to get here? Hopefully we will be going successfully through our appointments because I have all the paperwork and stuff. So this is what the Dutch embassy required. Let me sit like this for the sun. So first of all, I needed to make an online appointment. Okay. So I made both for my children. Out of the name of the children, I needed to make an appointment. So not just for me, but two separate appointments. And I needed to show paperwork of that both parents. So Dirk is not here, especially the parent who isn't here. He had to sign a form. You can fill that all out online. Basically, when I Googled how to apply for a new Dutch passport in another country, and I looked up Costa Rica, I got this checklist, and this was on my checklist. So I want you to double check if your country has a checklist and then the hyperlinks to the specific forms. So this is how I found out which paperwork I needed. I needed permission form from myself and from my husband, that we both give permission for my kids to get new passports. Second, especially the parent who isn't here, you should need photocopies of the valid passport signed with a signature and date. I didn't know that. We would be in trouble if we didn't know that, but it was on our checklist. So I'm not sure if your country has this checklist or if it's necessary, but the Netherlands is super strict. So I have him signed all the papers on all the bottom of every paper, just in case they require it because he isn't here. Because for us, it's a big journey to travel from Santa Teresa, the peninsula, the Nicoya, to Santa Ana. It's like more than half a day travel back, more than half a day travel forth. and then you have to be here, and then it takes time. So I also needed to show valid tourist visa, which is this is something for this time where COVID is ruling. Like officially, a stamp of a tourist visa isn't enough. If you're staying here longer than 3 months, you need to show paperwork that you have a valid residency. But our residency could not be applied by our attorney because of the migration offices were closed, right? And I currently they're opening. So I called with my embassy, and this is my advice: always call when you have doubts. Don't just go there and guess that they will accept your idea of what is necessary. So I called them and I asked, would a letter of my attorney would be enough to show that he is about applying for our whole family's residency, but migration was closed, so it is in delay. And we can show the valid copies of the passports of the kids and the valid visa stamps, and they said on the phone, yeah, that would be enough. I also emailed them to have that black on white. So always have that black on white. And then I also needed some other forms. That was all my checklist, copies of stuff, and very, very, very important, especially for the Netherlands, for passports. There are lots of requirements for photos for the passports. So I looked up, before I shot photos in San Jose, I looked up the requirements for the photos on the passport on the Dutch website, and I translated them, and that was really cool because I do know that they refuse photos who are not made by the requirements. Like, for example, if you are laughing on the picture, it's not accepted. If your head is a little bit like this, it's not accepted. If there's like this glimmering, if you wear glasses, it's not accepted. So yeah, we really went through all the steps in the photo studio here in San Jose. Photo Anna, by the way, a really amazing family business. I really can recommend them because the Dutch embassy checklist for applying for photos, the photo studio that they recommended was closed, although it was on the website that they should be open. So we were lucky to find Photo Anna, and I am pretty sure that they will accept the photos because they went point for point through all the requirements given on the website. So please double check if your photos are okay. And I'm still gonna count on that my passport applications will be approved because I'm still waiting. We were super early. That is another tip. The moment that you go there to the embassy, when you have all your paperwork, you have double checked all your paperwork, and you brought the original passports, which are valid, right? This is all important. Be sure that you have valid passports and valid tourist stamps and stuff, because I expect it would be really, really harder if that stuff is extended for the whole process of applying for new ones, right? I hope that makes sense. So I have 2 tips. Write down when you're moving to Costa Rica, the date of the extension, when the passports are expiring, right? And write it down at least 3 months before that you start looking into options to extend it. No, really depending on where you live. If you live quite isolated, you need time to make prints and look up forms and all the things that your country requires. And for example, I need to go to the copy shop in town that's like a 10-minute drive back, 10-minute drive forward. Then I forgot a form, I need to drive back and forth. And why we don't have our own printing machine? Well, all machines break here. Everything is so humid, right? So just making simple prints can take a couple of days. So don't do it a couple of days ahead looking into how to apply for a new passport. For us, the journey to San Jose takes a day, more or less, and back a day. So yeah, I would just write down right now, if you're thinking about moving to Costa Rica, the dates, expiration dates, and also have a good attorney, know other people. That's another tip. Be sure that you have double checked the address because our consulate and embassy is in a place where there's many others and from other countries. So just do your research that you know where you need to go, because we took an Uber, for example, and take extra time. You better are a little bit ahead of time here, so you have time when there's traffic jam. For example, we had to be here in the morning. It is, of course, very busy in traffic. So suppose there would have been an accident on the highway, we would still be on time. You don't want to play with your appointments at embassies and consulates, because if I would miss my appointment, then we would have no option to apply for new passports as long being valid, because then they would have been expired because I was super late. Thanks to my wonderful daughter, I found out that the passports of the kids were almost expired. I was dumb not to write it down, so don't make this mistake, okay? So be on time at the location and check out the location if you're using Uber, like I do, where you are staying from A to B, what's the, approximately the time to get there, and then take but perhaps it's Dutch. I took an hour extra to get here just in case there was a traffic jam, just in case we couldn't find it, just in case the Uber driver makes a mistake. I don't want to lose my appointment. So yeah, we are here. I hope that you feel helped by all these tips. Like I said, I am applying for the Dutch passport for my children. I'm not saying that the processes of applying for American passports or wherever you're coming from passports are the same, but there are processes similar, I guess, that making an appointment online for your embassy, I think they all do that online, and also find out which paperwork you need and just check box everything that you copied, double check, especially this, like having a photocopy of your partner, in this case the father of our kids, and have the photocopy date stamped and signed. If I would have known that was, thank goodness, on my checklist of the Dutch embassy, but if it's not there, just don't make the mistake with your partners that not here, you come from far, that you have to travel back and forth again, or that he has to be here. So I hope my video makes sense. This is a different type of video, because normally you see me at the beach or you see me in my property, but now I'm standing here in an embassy building complex with the Costa Rica flag. Well, here again behind me, the Dutch consulate or embassy. Let me make a picture. I can use it in my video. And it's so sunny. Wow, the sun is super bright. Thank you for watching my videos. P.S. if you're wondering and if you're curious, what is it, Muriel, that you do to make your living in Costa Rica without having a job or a brick and mortar business, basically a tourist, free. So my business is not relying on tourism. How do you do it? I work fully online, guys. I do that since 2013. It allowed me to move to Costa Rica, or basically to move to anywhere in the world, but my choice was Costa Rica, and that's how I make my living. Learn more, follow the description below my video, hit the very first link. There's information behind that link. Scroll down in the description for more about my online programs, my life and business coaching programs, my digital courses, and everything that I am creating over time, and that there's so much more created since the very first videos. So I think it's worth it to check it out. Message me on Facebook Messenger, or just simply reply below my videos and let's chat about your questions. Whatever questions you might have, I'm happy to help you. So with that being said, thank you so much for watching again. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel to learn more about Costa Rica expat living, and see you soon. Ciao. So we're in the process of inside. I wanted to just give you an impression. We're waiting. Behind me you see the family picture of our king and our queen and their 3 daughters. And this is the desk. I just gave all my forms, and the lady behind the desk is going through all the forms. And while my kids are killing time with getting cups of water from the machine. It's just waiting, and everything so far went really well living as an expat in Costa Rica. So I have all the trust that this will be going super well, and that we're gonna hear how we go from here, because I don't know if we need to be in person here, if all three need to be in person here to pick up the passport, or that just me or my husband can come pick up the passport. I don't know. So let's wait and see. And behind me you see the background. This gives you an idea. We are in San Jose, and this is the view outside of the window, and that's beautiful. That's so lovely about San Jose, although I'm happy that I don't live here. So I keep you posted. Hold on. Okay, so a fact for you to know: if you are as me and you love to be early, you are not allowed in here. You have to wait outside of the building, and that's COVID restrictions. So yeah, it's also for our own safety. So we had to kill some time in front of the building, and that's where I started to create my video. But yeah, so we are really the only ones here in the waiting hall while the lady is going through all the paperwork, and it's pretty tranquilo here. Actually, really quiet. Also, be aware of this: they don't make photocopies at the embassy or the consulate. So be sure you have double checked all the paperwork. It's really, really important. Now what happened? I forgot a form, if you believe it or not. But she was super creative, the lady, because I need my husband's signature below the form, but I had 2 of Nick and none of Sam, an application form. So she said we can use the signature of your husband of Nick's form, and then you fill out a brand new one, which is here in one of the boxes. There, they had like an extra photocopy. I am so happy she was that creative and willing to help, because otherwise we had a problem, and Dirk is not here. It takes him a day to travel here. So I'm happy. This is all working out really well. Now she's doing the rest. Nick just did his signature, as you can see here. And let's stick. Yes, very exciting news. We just completed the application process here in the consulate, and now I choose to pay. You can always choose to pay card or cash, so I did do the payment. Always be sure that you have a receipt, and then in 3 to 4 weeks the passports will be ready. And this is important for when you apply for Dutch passports. This is our rules. Let me just take this off. You need to bring the original passports, and you need to make an appointment to pick the passports up. The kids do not have to come, just a parent is enough. So it's gonna be Dirk or me to go to San Jose again. And well, that's the choice when you live very remote. I have to travel again back and forth, but that's fine. It's not just with the kids, so it's saving them a long trip. So yeah, I think I'm excited that it worked out. It's my first passport application while living in Costa Rica. So I hope that you benefited from my video. If you are living in Costa Rica or thinking about living in Costa Rica, don't feel hesitant. There's always consulates and embassies where you can do your official stuff. So I'm standing in front of this Dutch one apparently. So yeah, well, anyways, let me know if my video was helpful. Give me your thumb up, and I share your thoughts, your comments, your questions below. And of course, again, if you're curious about what it is that I do online, click the first link below my videos or read more in the description. Ciao from Costa Rica.